Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Paul from Closure Mouth Media, and I'm back again to deliver another review on an episode of The Bachelor, Season 25, Episode 5 with Matt James. Just getting right into it, man. A tremendous amount of tension in the house with the girls, with the women. Um, and, you know, obviously, if you remember what happened in the ending of Episode 4, you see Katie, going outside to talk to Matt about a particular situation that was kind of she kind of saw the vibes and she was just like, I don't like the way like things are going. She was like, I want to try to shut it down. And we all applaud her for that. Well, at least I think we all could like stand with her. Like that was like the only time we kind of, cause we didn't like the idea of snitching, but we saw what she was doing. She had good intentions, and she was standing up for Brittany. So at the beginning of this episode, we see Matt kind of pull Anna aside, and he addresses the issue that was presented to him from Anna, and I mean from Katie, and he's sitting there, he's like, oh, what's going on, like what happened, like I heard about this, like is it true? And she's like, well, yeah. And he's like, well, these are strong like accusations. He was like, that's not okay. He was like, I understand you're extremely sorry. Yeah, obviously he could see it. We could see it. She's bawling her eyes out. She realized she made a great mistake. But he looks at her and he's just like, yo, like I've made mistakes too. I've grown from it, but you kind of have to own up to it. And when he said that, I was like, he's sending her home. And yeah, he sent her home, man. Right, he sent her home before the rose ceremony. He was just like, there's no point of even putting her through that. So he walked her back through the house. Well, I mean, they're already in the house, but he walked her past the girls and she's crying, and I'm like, damn, that's kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. And then within the same night, we have Ryan decided to take her one-on-one time to present another issue to him. Well, not another, but her issue to him about another woman in the house. And we see that as Victoria. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, based off of what we've seen thus far in the show, it seems like whoever gets to Matt first and delivers their problems to him, he kind of sides with them, and he kind of pushes away the issue that's bothering them, and he just kicks them out completely. So I'm like, wow. So I was like, yo, are we about to see Victoria go home? So Ryan is talking to Matt. She breaks down immediately, saying like that Victoria is basically, I don't want to say being a bully, but she's not being nice. She's being mean, and she's doing this whole like, old girl versus new girl thing, and it was rubbing Ryan the wrong way. I don't know if she did this because she was just like, oh, I see what's going on and I can actually get this girl taken away. Because I don't know if her cries were genuine or like it, I don't know, it seemed like it was acting to me. So, but I loved it mainly because I was like, we're possibly gonna see the wicked witch the wicked witch of the West, get out of here. And I'm like, yes. I was like, Victoria might actually go home. But before the rose ceremony, there was a scene actually I wanted to talk about. I kind of skipped over it, where the girls see Anna going home, and they all have like this kind of huddle up moment, and they're all like apologizing. One is like, oh, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that, and everyone just seemed fake. It didn't seem genuine at all. I was just like, oh, this is kind of BS. Like I wouldn't even have apologized, but I feel like everyone was kind of scared, because they're just like, yo, like I don't want no issues in the house, so I want a clean slate. We saw what happened to Anna, and I don't want that happening to me. So if I have issues with you, I apologize. So if Victoria was trying to get herself situated quick fast, I always say that, I'm sorry, but she tried to get herself situated quick because she already knew, like it's like she kind of like knew what was gonna happen, so she kind of was just like, oh, I'm sorry. So anyway, so Matt kind of pulls Victoria aside, and he's like, oh, I heard about what happened. He was like, Ryan told me her side and saying that you're doing this and doing that. And obviously Victoria's freaking out. She departs from Matt. She is having her like alone time. She's having like a mental breakdown. She was like, if I leave, like, she was like, I don't know what to do. And she was like, oh no, she was like, no one is fit for him better than I am. She was like, I'm the only girl for him. And I'm sitting here like, no, you're not. Like, you're so delusional. Like, what's wrong with you? And she's sitting here like, oh, like I've brought peace and harmony in this place. Like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on? She was like, oh, if he chooses another girl over me, she was like, then he's definitely not my king, and I'm not his queen. Like, obviously, but it's just like, whatever. So we get to the rose ceremony, and we see 4 girls get sent home. One of them I was obviously super excited about, and the other one was pretty sad about. But the 4 girls that got sent home were Catalina. I didn't really care too much about her, but she seemed nice. The other girl was Lauren. She was cool. It was sad to see her go. And then it was Mary. Also there was Mary. Mary I was like extremely sad about, because I really enjoyed watching her and seeing her on TV and stuff. And then we finally send home the Grinch, man. We finally send home Victoria, and it was a long time happening. I'm just glad that he finally made the decision to send her home, but it sucks because it took way too long. Like, she didn't need to be there. Like, I'm sure everyone that's watching this at home is sitting back and it's just like, we know Victoria's just not for you, and it's not because of how slimy she is and how much of a evil person she is. It's just, we just see it. We feel like, honestly, forget about like just the personality, even the looks. Like, they just don't look like, they just wouldn't be a cute couple. Like, it's gross. Like, every time they kissed on scene, like I cringe, and I'm just like, ew. I'm like, how could you even go on? Like, I every time she went in for a kiss, I was just like, Matt, just turn the other cheek. Just be like, oh no, I'm sorry, not right now. But I don't know, that's just me. But I will say this though, I kind of agree. Like, if I had to like put myself in her shoes, like just thinking from where she's coming from, I kind of agree with how she kind of did the whole departure, where it's like, you might disagree with me here. Obviously, let me know in the comments what you guys think. But I feel like her not giving him a hug, like, I feel like if I was in her shoes and I actually believed that he believed someone's lies and someone, like the accusation that was placed against me, I'd be like, yo, I don't want to hug you, like, you chose wrong tonight, and now innocent girl is being sent home because you didn't want to look too deeply into the matter, and now my night is ruined. I gotta go home, start over with my love life again. But I don't know. But for other girls, I get, I understand it's respect and all that stuff. But I understand. But I don't know. I'm just glad Victoria is gone, and I'm sure you guys are as well. What else we have here? Girls not looking happy. Oh yeah. So on the first group date of this episode, or the only group date, or maybe, yeah, I think it was like the first group date and the only group date of this episode, none of the girls look happy at all. They're just like, I guess they're starting to really kick in. They're just like, wow, like I'm like here, like it's like there's not that many of us left. Like, we need to figure out what we can do to maximize our time with Matt so he can recognize us and so that we can build this chemistry. There's still girls in the house that are like, yo, I haven't opened up to him yet. And like, it's a scary thing, because it's just like, wow, like I feel like I'm just being like strung along, and eventually he's just gonna throw me out. So they're trying to figure out what they can do. Obviously they're strategizing in their head, I think, hopefully, because it's like you're sitting there, but they see that Rachel is about to go on this one-on-one date, and I don't think any of them are happy at all, because obviously they want it to be them, and that's fine. Like, obviously everyone is entitled to their feelings. I absolutely love the date that Rachel, I love Rachel so much, so obviously I'm gonna hype this up, but I really enjoyed the date between her and Matt, and the whole shopping spree thing was pretty cute. I really hope, I really hope, there's like a few people that I want to end up with Matt, but I'll kind of save that for like later on in the reviews. But yeah, dude, so I love how Abigail kind of took the stand and decided to go talk to Matt in private, and she was just like, I'm gonna open up to him, I'm gonna put myself out there, be assertive, and guess what? it got her locked in with the rose, and she's safe. She's good, and that's awesome. And I'm happy for her because, you know, she's a really sweet girl. She's another girl that's in my favorites, but sadly, I do not see her with Matt. But who knows? You know, the show is full of weird surprises. Um, Rachel, Michelle. Oh yeah, so we see that I think this girl, I think her name is Jess. She kind of confronts Matt about MJ. So obviously Matt pulls MJ aside, and MJ is pissed because she's like, I've seen what happened to the other girls, and I don't want that to be me. So she's like, I'm gonna address all the girls in the house, and that's totally fine because I feel like if I was in her shoes, I would do the same thing. So she goes, you know, to the lounge area. She confronts all the women, and Jess kind of steps into the plate, and she's like, oh, she was like, yeah, she was like, you've been doing X, Y, and Z, and she was like, you know, Matt asked me how I felt about certain situations in the house, and she was like, I just told him honestly, and MJ felt like she was being attacked because Michelle jumped in, and then Katie jumped in. Katie, I love Katie, but Katie is starting to kind of bother me with that. She's starting to kind of she's starting to do too much in my eyes. I feel like she should like honestly calm down. Like she's done enough. Like she sent I felt like she kind of created like a great energy to where it sent Anna home and we loved it, and then it also connected to where it's ended up sending Victoria home, and we love that as well. But it's like, I don't know, I felt like she was I don't know, like, let me know if I'm wrong, let me know what you guys think, because Katie is starting to get on my nerves a little bit. I'm just like, yo, just stay in your lane, just relax, keep your mouth closed, just stop. And then we end up seeing towards the end of this episode that MJ and Jess are kind of going at it. You know, they're kind of, you know, having this back and forth. They're cutting each other off, getting loud. And I'm like, wow, like this is really getting heated. And then we see Matt walk in. He sits down, and I'm like, they're not gonna tell it. They're not gonna show us what's going on. Like they're obviously gonna save it for the next episode, and obviously that's where the episode ends. We've seen the upcoming attractions for next week. That just a lot of stressful stuff. It was something I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot. But that is my review for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Obviously leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah.